Hello, this is Nitin Dahad with EE Times, and I'm having the pleasure of speaking with Adam White, who does all things power at Infineon. Adam, hello, good to see you again.
Thank you, Nitin. Welcome to the Infineon area, and great to be here in Taiwan at Computex with you.
Yeah, I mean, although we're filming this at Computex, there's a lot of things which are going on in the industry, and I think the big buzz from here is physical and agentic AI, and for that you need, from your message on your keynote was from grid to core to physical AI. Just give a little bit of an overview of what that means.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable. So first of all, the general sentiment here now within Computex is just a buzz. It is electric, and
Yes.
and of course, everybody's recognizing AI is here. We're in this revolution, and we have the slogan that there's no AI without power. And of course, Infineon being one of the lead companies in power management, we're of course being very privileged to be working with a number of the winners in the industry, win with the winners as we call it. And this is really giving us this incredible opportunity to showcase our innovation and making sure that we've got the best possible reliability in the applications, and then of course at the pure manufacturing scale.
And it's quite interesting because it feels like anybody and everybody has to go to the Nvidia ecosystem right now for the AI, and I think you, like within around Computex, you also announced you've joined the MGX AI factory ecosystem. But what does that mean? Like, it means Infineon does something better.
Yeah, and look, and as the compute needs are going up, right? And the power needs for example, in the GPUs are going, significantly up. Power management becomes, of course, even more relevant as we build out these AI factories. And it really now becomes this infrastructure play as well. So here we're, of course, working with the who's who of the industry, making sure that we're really understanding those architecture changes, and they are architecture changes. The racks, back in the day when I was a junior engineer were, 40, 50 kilowatts, going now up to the 250.
GC Alstom maybe.
There you go. And now what we're seeing is, for example, the IT racks being showcased here are, 660 kilowatts. Yeah. And then of course the North Star is the 800 volt microgrid. And that 800 volt microgrid going up to a staggering 1 megawatt.
Right.
And this really takes, and I must stress, the collaboration, right, with the lead companies to really understand what their requirements are, what their safety requirements are, and then offering building blocks that enables this challenge. But we at Infineon don't just see it as a challenge, a huge window of opportunity for us.
And I think the other key message that we're hearing within the industry is that ecosystem, that collaboration, and even when I interviewed the minister here, it was more about although Taiwan is leading in manufacturing, but it needs to do that collaboration as well as research and innovation. I think that's kind of your motto as well, isn't it?
Absolutely, and we not one company is going to be sort of the ultimate winner. We got to work together in the industry. As of course the technology challenges arise, those give us opportunities, but those opportunities need ecosystem partners all around the world. And of course the sophistication now, whether we call it powering AI from the grid to core to physical AI, and these areas of grid brings in new challenges, opportunities, as well as going into the core. We have to keep the latest innovation to make sure we've got a value proposition that ultimately hits the requirements of those customers.
And beyond the ecosystems, the technologies, I think one of the things that came over in your keynote was it's not just one technology. And there's an excellent chart you showed, the silicon, the silicon carbide and the GaN, and color coded, which actually paints the picture very well. Is there a way you can tell our viewers what that all sort of illustrates?
Absolutely. So now you're hitting our hot spot, right? Because we recognize as Infineon's a number of years and years back, that having one technology will not give us a differentiated value proposition in all of the building blocks. So we know silicon today is the backbone of the industry. The leading edge silicon is absolutely required. And we've just brought out another range of our Optimos 8, which is 44% better RDS(on) than the Optimos 5, which is a world volume leader in the industry. We continue to invest in the silicon roadmaps. The end of this year, I hinted to it. There's new technology coming out in that area. Silicon carbide, as we go up in a little bit of the frequency and the robustness, is a game changer. But we're using a trench technology and we're customizing that for the building blocks for AI, whether that is for the BBUs, CPUs, the PSUs, the PFC stages. So that is another area that we see. And then of course, one of my favorite topics again is the gallium nitride.
Yes, the 300 mil paper. I remember that picture from when I visited you.
I know, it was a very good. We'll do another selfie later, right? But that gallium nitride is a technology now, it comes to its own at higher switching frequency. And here, of course, you go to the 48 volt to 6, you can go to the intermediate bus conversion. These topics are really now showing the value of GaN, where we see a tipping point now for the customers accepting it, recognizing the value proposition. So we as a company, we have to be prepared to also bring that into 12-inch eventually to ramp for those. So, and one of the funniest things, we were in the show yesterday, walking around, seeing a lot of the key executives, and it became a little bit like a bingo. So every PSU, whether it was, going up to the 18 kilowatt, going to the 24 kilowatt, further. But it was interesting because we were having a joke with everybody saying, right, is this just got silicon? Has it got silicon and GaN? Has it got silicon carbide and GaN? Has it got all three? So it became a little bit of a,
What was the jackpot?
Actually there is definitely, we see now more and more a hybrid approach. And that's the key thing. We got to, as a company and as an industry, master all three technologies, because there is value proposition by functional block level for each of the benefits of the materials. And that's something that I'm delighted, I'm super delighted the company continues to invest in. But of course, we also look at the major manufacturing scale that we need there as well.
There's a message, that's a key message there, which is right solutions for the right
exactly.
Price. One last thing, you talked about solid state, specifically in terms of the circuit breakers, but I think more broadly. Just tell us a little about the solid state statification of power.
So let's start with the conventional transformers, right? We're now going to the solid state transformers, 20 tons, great innovation that's been in the industry, incredibly robust.
You showed a nice picture of that.
And moving forward, they go to whatever, half a ton. You get 30% less weight and size, and you get better efficiency. So this is a topic we see over the next years coming out more and more. And the other major trend that's happening now, literally now, is the solid state circuit breaker. And here, using the latest technology from Infineon with our JFET, our CoolSiC JFET. That is giving us now a major differentiator of simplifying these mechanical circuit breakers, making them solid state, and the isolation effect and the speed in microseconds is quite amazing.
I think you said one customer couldn't believe that there was no error.
So one of the CTOs of one of the customers we're working with, they tested our JFET out into their labs. And they were concerned because they didn't think the functionality of isolation worked. And they were maybe...
It was too good.
Because they didn't zoom in to the microseconds.
Yeah,
So they weren't zoomed in enough to recognize that there was, of course, then the trigger for the simulation to say, right, something's been detected. So this just shows you, even in the ecosystem of these circuit breakers, some of the best companies out there were like, wow, this is game changing because of the speed. And then you get the control diagnostics, you get the additional digital digital feedback, and that is, again, is happening today. So it's not a technology that, will it roll out and when will it roll out? Solid state circuit breakers are ramping, are being used today. The value proposition, even I could sell that, right? People are buying it because they see the differentiation.
Now, we would be amiss if we didn't talk about physical AI and robotics. We met last at October Tech, and Amica, you're the robot you had on show. But I think one of the things you're talking about these days is about security in the physical AI, and Optiga sort of put into that. So you wanted to say a bit about that?
Absolutely. So let me just start with the physical AI for the humanoids itself. We've got a plethora of technologies, from the compute to the connectivity, going into the security. We do motor control, we do battery management, we do the sensor technologies as well. So I think it's actually, I would say, underrated in the industry to show how much platforms and technologies that we can go into humanoids. And we're seeing that now ramping in the industry with some of the best companies in the world. For example, even the gallium nitride motor drive technology, going into the elbows, going into dexterous hands, this is something that's happening. On the other area, the amount of data is improving, right? And meaning the volume of data, the speed of the data. Ethernet is a fantastic solution that we of course acquired not so long ago, goes into cars, but now also goes into humanoids. Right. And then the great announcement today that we also announced was the Jetson Thor with our new trusted platform for security. And we're looking at post-quantum security. And I don't know about you, but as these humanoids and robotics, whether they're in the factories, whether they're on the streets, one day going more and more into our homes, security will matter, does matter, and that's where we're very happy to be teaming up with Nvidia on that, and being on their platform as a trusted partner to secure their application.
Well, I can just imagine that robot flicking the switch when you don't want it to, but Adam, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Talking to you.
Great seeing you.
Thank you.